Hello children, welcome to another Sunday School time. And Rupert's here today too. Would you like to say hello to Rupert, children? Rupert's saying hello to you as well. And Rupert's come here today because he really wants to tell you something. Isn't that right, Rupert? Rupert wants to tell you about how well cared for he is. You see, Rupert has a wonderful owner and her name is Mary Ann. How does Mary Ann care for you, Rupert? Every morning Rupert wakes up and Mary Ann goes out to the little veranda and she gives Rupert some lovely breakfast, and then she empties his bowl of water and gives him nice fresh water. And Rupert just loves that. He loves to go and lap up his water and have his yummy breakfast, don't you? Is there any other ways that Mary Ann cares for you, Rupert? Yes, Rupert really likes this. A few times a week, Mary Ann gives him some special bones to chew. And sometimes she gives him extra bones. So Blackie and Patch come over and they all chew bones together. And that is so much fun, isn't it? Yes, it is. It is great fun. And is there any other way that Mary Ann cares for you, Rupert? She gives him lots and lots of pats, and Rupert says that makes him feel super, super special. And the other thing that Rupert said is that she sometimes gives him special little doggy snacks, some special little doggy biscuits. Well, Rupert, I think you get very well looked after. And I think you probably are very thankful to Mary Ann for the lovely way she looks after you. And you know what, boys and girls, today we're going to hear a story about a man called Elijah. And in that story, we're going to see how God looked after him and at the same time how he looked after a lady and her boy. And that's going to help us think about the many, many ways that God looks after us. So are you all ready now? Rupert, are you ready? Because Jeff is now going to tell us the story from our Bible this week. Over to you, Jeff.
Hello, boys and girls. The Bible tells us about a man named Elijah. Elijah loved God and he travelled around telling people about God. But the king of the country where Elijah lived didn't love God. Now, because of the bad things the king did, God didn't send any rain to that country. Without rain, the people couldn't grow food. How do you think the people felt? Yes, many people were hungry, and that included the king and Elijah. But Elijah knew that God would take care of him. One day, God told Elijah to go to a certain town. A lady who lived there would give him food and drink. Look at the picture. You can see Elijah walking towards the town. He walked and walked a long way. When Elijah finally arrived at the town gate, he saw a lady collecting sticks. He asked her, "Would you please bring me a little water to drink? I'm thirsty." So the lady went to get him some water. Elijah called out to her, "Please bring me a piece of bread too." The lady said,
"I don't have a single piece of bread in the house. I only have a small amount of flour in a jar, and I only have a little oil in a jug. I am gathering sticks so I can go home, make a fire, and cook one last meal for my son and myself."
Elijah told her, "Don't be scared. Go home and make the bread. But first, make a little bread for me. Make it out of the flour and oil you have. Next, make some bread for your son and yourself." Then Elijah told her some wonderful news about God. God will take care of us. God will make sure the jar of flour will not be used up. He will make sure that the jug of oil will always have oil in it. There will be flour and oil for you to make bread until God sends rain to the land. The lady hurried home. She believed what Elijah had said. You can see her here with her jar of flour and her jug of oil. She put all of the oil and flour into a bowl. She mixed the flour and oil together. Soon the dough was ready to bake. She made bread for Elijah first, then she baked some for herself and her son. Look at the bread on the table. They had plenty to eat. How do you think they felt then? Yes, I think they were happy and thankful to God. Then God did just as he had promised. The flour jar had enough flour in it each day, and the oil jar had enough oil in it each day. So the lady could use them to make more bread every day. And there was food every day for Elijah, the lady, and her son. God cared for all of them just as he had promised. Thanks for listening, girls and boys.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for telling us that wonderful story from the Bible. Wasn't it wonderful to hear how God cared for Elijah, that lady, and that little boy? And isn't it wonderful to think of all the many ways that God cares for each one of us? When you finish looking at this video, children, I'd like you to tell your parents some of the ways that you can think of how God cares for you. And then you can have a short time of thanking God for those many ways. Today is the last Sunday in our school term for this term, term 3. And so we will have a break from our Sunday school videos, but we will see you again in a few weeks' time. And so until then, I will say goodbye. Bye.